I didn't realize it was on, and here I am trying to get up on top of this ledge to do the rest of this video. Alright, and we're up. Yeah. Wow, it's hot. I'm just dripping. Okay. So I figured I might as well stop here in the park before I get to Charlie's because it's a public place and I don't necessarily want to interrupt anyone's conversations or just film a video in front of them because I'm not really comfortable with that. I didn't even want to do this in the first place. But I figured it might be a little bit more entertaining for you than just reading what I'm doing. So we're here in the great outdoors. So around me, we got some trees. Yeah, so it's pretty beautiful. So I don't know if you have heard, but the birds here are savage. And I'm not joking, savage. It is magpie season at the moment, which means birds are mating. And if you've ever heard of swooping, that is what they do. So basically, they attack your head. It's definitely not a head massage. It doesn't feel good. I have also been attacked. 1, 2, 3. Okay, one day I got attacked like 3 times. 2 times by the same bird. And then another time by this random like little bird. And then I also got attacked, I would say 4 more times after that individually. So yeah, the one time that the bird was attacking me, that it attacked me twice, these guys were actually watching, and this bird would keep swooping at me. Like it came down at me the first time. I was on the phone, first off. So in the middle of the phone call, I go, bird! And then like nobody really knows how to respond to that. So that was kind of a humorous thing. But then I just like continued on with my walk because, you know, what are you going to do about a bird swooping you? All you can do is move forward. So I walk forward about, I would say maybe 100 more feet, not even. And it attacks me again. And then a second time on the phone, bird! And then, so, yeah, these guys were watching, and I like didn't want to move. I was just kind of afraid at that point because this bird had attacked me twice, and it was like eyeing me down. I'm not joking, eyeing me down. And so the guys like run over, and then they throw a stick at me, and they're like, all you have to do is wave this over your head. So I walked probably the next 1.5 miles with a stick over my head. So yeah, that's a funny story of the trip here in Australia. So if you ever come to Australia, just be prepared. Anyways, besides that point, I just wanted to share a little bit more about the DTS and what I'm doing here. So during the week, we do lectures. So the first couple of weeks we went through Father Heart of God, we went through Hearing the Voice of God, and then also a few other things. And then this last week we learned about fear of God versus fear of man, and that was really cool. So we spent the whole last week at a macadamia nut farm in Maleny, Queensland. So it was really, really beautiful. It reminded me of home, and I would just wake up in the morning, walk out of the dorms that I shared with, I think it was over 20 girls this time. So it was all of us. Yeah, so I would just walk out and the sun wouldn't be up yet, and I would just start going on my walk. And it was just one of those beautiful moments where you could walk in between the trees and look at all the cattle, and the horses were running, and then we saw wallaby everywhere. So if you don't know what a wallaby is, basically it is a small kangaroo, but it's not a kangaroo, it just looks like a kangaroo, so they get confused pretty often. But yeah, still, I think They're beautiful animals, different from what I've ever seen, so I really like to see them. I have seen maybe 2 kangaroos since I've been here, and it's a little over a month in. So yeah, I guess they're not everywhere like everyone says, or at least not where I've been. Yeah, but looking forward to that. On the weekends, sometimes we have free or we have outreach. So we will be in different country towns just working at different organizations, or like the last time that we did outreach, I helped with a 24-hour lock-in for some 5th and 6th graders. So that was really sweet because we got to spend the entire time just playing games with kids and talking about Jesus, and also speaking their identity over them, because most of them didn't come from healthy homes, or their parents were split, or some type of abuse was happening. So we just got to love on them for an entire day, a little over that, and then they invited us to their church. So a few of us shared our testimonies, and it was just a really awesome experience. One of the families actually hosted a small group of us with dietary needs, which is amazing because I can't have dairy and I prefer not to eat meat. So she just made me like a really lovely coconut curry, and then the rest of the people who had dietary needs, she made everything gluten-free, and then also like a leg of lamb. So that was really, really nice of them. And then yeah, we just got to wake up with the sunrise, and there were probably 9 wallaby in the backyard. So that was the first time I saw a wallaby, so I was pretty stoked on it. I wanted to talk a little bit more about my outreach destination. So I will be going to the Solomon Islands, which is just above and to the right of Australia. And it's a pretty underdeveloped place, but the people really love it there. And so they farm all of their own crops, they make their own food, they don't really have markets, it's a lot of trade. To say it in short, we're going there because we have missionaries that have been there quite a long time and they just need a break. And sometimes missionaries like that just need a little bit of re-energizing and a new perspective. So we are going there for that. We will be handing out Bibles and also talking to people about their faith. We are going to be working with the youth quite a bit. We'll be doing a lot of labor in the fields and gathering food and supplies and leading some lectures and stuff like that, or like messages to the best of our abilities. With the language barrier, we're going to be bringing utensils and stuff that they might need replacements for, and just spreading like God's love on these people. Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. There is, like I said, there is a language barrier. They speak, what is it called? I'm just totally blanking on this right now. What's it called? Pidgin. Okay, they speak Pidgin, which is basically, to us, it's broken English, so it's a few different languages mixed together, and they can kind of pick up what we say and we can kind of pick up what they say, but still, if you were to tell a story, you couldn't really follow along, and yeah, so there's still a lot of disconnect. So that's going to be interesting, but I know it's going to be really cool to also just play games, and that language barrier isn't necessarily one of those things that has to get in between people who do missions and the locals there. So apparently their diet is mainly what they catch or what they make. So they're going to have tuna, and they have a lot of potatoes, like a lot of potatoes apparently. And then like a lot of root vegetables. So we will basically be living off of that for 2 months. And yeah, I just wanted to end on this message with answering a few of your questions that you guys asked me. So I'll start off with Josiah because he asked me what I'm going to get him for Christmas, and I won't be here. I'll be in the Solomon Islands. So that is a really good question. I'm probably going to get you some coffee, and I'll probably just bring that back because I know how much you love coffee. But I still have to scout out which is the best place because I don't want to send you some rotten coffee. Actually, you know what might be funny? If I just sent you some Folgers. Might do that. And then another question was, what track am I doing in DTS? So I'm doing the Beach to Bush track, and that is where we travel, we mix lectures and outreach in the first half of it. So we do lectures on base and off of base as well, and then do a mix of outreach opportunities in country towns here. And then for the outreach portion, then we do, that is for 2 months. Some of the teams are coming back a little bit early and doing some more outreach here in Australia. But other than that, that's kind of a little breakdown of my DTS. And how did I choose which DTS I was going to do? Well, I was actually looking into the photo video DTS, and that just didn't sit right with my heart. I had been doing photo and video for my job before I left, and I didn't want my time here at DTS to just be more work. Honestly, I was getting pretty exhausted at where I was at, and I was just pushing until the end because I did have to raise money for this. And I figured that just wasn't where God was calling me, so I kind of just canceled or checked that off the list, and I was like, probably not. And then I knew I wanted to go to Australia, so I honestly didn't do much research on anything with YWAM. I had heard from a few different people about what it was and just heard more stories, and it was just something I was called into, and something that I really felt on my heart. I wanted to put God at the foundation of my business and also learn more about who created me. I just thought it was going to be such a cool opportunity, and it's definitely proven to be true. So Australia was definitely the place I wanted to go. I looked at the MAD program, which is the photo video, and then the next one that I clicked on was Beach to Bush. So that was an adventure travel one, and I watched the video, and I immediately just started crying. I'm like, that's where I'm going. That's what I'm going to do. And I didn't really research anything else. I didn't look up anything else. It really wasn't a hard decision. It was just my yes. I just said yes, and I started fundraising for that. I was actually the first student to submit my application and get approved for this DTS, which is pretty cool. Another question, how long will I be here? I'll be here for a total of 6 months, I believe. That's not exactly on the dot. I will be back at the end of February. And what has been my favorite part about being here in Australia? I would say being attacked by birds. I'm just kidding. No, definitely not. But my favorite part about being here in Australia would be the hospitality that everyone has. So when you go into these country towns, they just love on you so well, and they're so community oriented. One of the pastors actually was a bus driver, so he didn't choose to just be the pastor for the church. He wanted to actually engage with the community, and that's definitely something that speaks for everyone who is here in Australia in these country towns. They just love so well, and they take care of you, and that's definitely a gift that I've learned that people have, is the gift of hospitality, and I really admire that, and I think it's just so beautiful. So that's definitely one of my favorite things. And also, seeing new places. I love seeing new places. You all know that. And we've been to a few different beaches, and we went to campgrounds, and just like along the lakes and stuff, and then on a couple of different hikes. But I'm really excited to see more. We have a few different opportunities to travel a little bit more. We're going to go to Stradbroke Island and just a few other places. I can't really remember where, but every week is kind of something that just kind of pops up, and it's a surprise, and you just find out you're about to leave for a week or 2 or 3. So that is what we have next here on the DTS, and I'm excited for that. But yeah, other than that information, I think that's where I'm going to leave the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any more questions, just feel free to let me know. I'm always available to answer them. I will do my best to respond in a timely manner. Wi-Fi here isn't awesome. So for those of you who are watching this, I love you all. Thank you so much for supporting me. It honestly means the world. I couldn't be here without you, and I'm really thankful that you're here partnering with me. Because if I tried to do this by myself, I think it just wouldn't be God. I know God had his hand over this opportunity, and he's gotten me here. And I just want to thank you for stepping out and supporting me and helping me with fundraising, and also supporting my art and just sending loving, encouraging messages as well as prayer. I seriously am just so grateful. But yeah, and then, yeah, without further ado, I'm just going to send you on to the next little video clip. I put together just a little video recap of my week. It has a little bit from when we went to the beach, but like very small amounts. So it has a little bit. The video has a little bit on what we did this last week, and then it also has some on the macadamia nut farm. Yeah, so I'm just excited for you guys to watch it, and I hope you enjoy it. And if you would like to be pen pals, I am here for another 4.5 months. So if you would like my mailing address, just let me know. I'm happy to share it with you. Or if you have any of the items that I may have requested in the partner with me section in this email, it's at the end, so just like scroll all the way down. Yeah, so I'm really looking for that video camera. I think that would be really, really cool. So if you have that, please let me know. I can reimburse you for shipping or whatever, or just out of the kindness of your heart, maybe you could just send that to me. I don't know. But anyways, love you all. Enjoy the video, and I will talk to you soon.